So I want to make sure that I'm putting these things in your mind, especially if you are from Jamaica, or in the Caribbean, or if you're not, big up yourself, still keep them in mind, because you're building a business no matter what, right? Welcome to the Altitude Lounge. Today, I wanted to really think about some of these things, well, all of these things that I'm about to share. It's things to keep in mind when deciding to build your online business, right? So these are things I ended up slightly learning the hard way, and especially as a Caribbean national, well, a Jamaican, some of them ended up being a little more challenging for me. So I want to make sure that I'm putting these things in your mind, especially if you are from Jamaica, or in the Caribbean, or if you're not, big up yourself, still keep them in mind, because you're building a business no matter what, right? So it's going to be 6 things to keep in mind. 6 things to keep in mind when building your online business, all right? So the first one, what type of equipment do you want or need? What type of equipment in terms of, like, do you need your phone? Do you need a camera? Do you need your laptop? Do you need an extra screen? Do you need mics? Like, I really want you to think about those things, because you need to think about budgeting to get those things, or seeing if your business can definitely generate enough income to get those things quick enough to make a difference in the quality of whatever you're releasing, right? So yeah, your equipment, as much as we use laptops every day or use phones every day or whatever, we really need to think about the putting our best foot forward for our businesses and the equipment that will help us to do that, right? Second thing, your payment processor. Hey. So your payment processor here in Jamaica, so I have international clients. I primarily target international clients, and I do have some Jamaican clients. But for the fact that my primary target market and niche falls in the international market, I need to make sure that I have a payment processor that makes sense, right? And here in Jamaica, the only one that really provides like convenience, and well, there are 2, but the only one that really provides convenience for me is PayPal, right? Now PayPal is tricky because cashing out PayPal out here in Jamaica is a whole other story, right? And so there are companies that do it out here, but of course for a fee, because they have their online business too. So with that said, it's important for you to really think about the types of payment processors that you have access to based on your location, and also the ones that make the most sense based on the types of services or products that you provide, right? So for instance, if you have an online store, because you're a product-based business, then what type of payment processor would make sense for you? Does it make sense to just do everything through Shopify, or Samcart, or one of those ones that allow for like a cart kind of experience? Or do you want to be doing things based on strictly invoicing, or like a mix of both? Like, think about that, and then think about the payment processors that best support those, or the way that you want your payment processes to look, and then get that done, right? Then now, bookkeeping and just overall financial management. So those softwares, actually. So our reality is that there are many of them out there, right? And I would really suggest that you find some that really are associated with your customer relationship management mechanisms, right? Because our reality is that you don't necessarily want to be able to develop contracts and have people talk directly to you, and then it's not linking to exactly how you will be collecting the money from them and all of that. So really do some research. In fact, I can actually like drop some suggestions down below to really help you where that is concerned, right? But in terms of your financial management software and bookkeeping and CRM and all of that, make sure that you are really thinking of that. And please note, your payment processor is actually a separate thing from your financial management software, right? So yeah, it's interesting. I'm thinking about that. You do have QuickBooks though that really allows for a more all-in-one kind of experience, but also you really have to think about how the overall experience for your client making the payment and then you collecting and all of that. So it all depends on just your back end, how you want it to look, and the overall flow and how you want everything to flow for you, right? Next thing, general supporting software, right? So it's kind of piggybacking on your CRM and your bookkeeping software and financial management softwares and all of that. Your other software is like how are you going to be creating your content? How are you going to be scheduling your content? How are you going to be editing your videos? Think about all those other bits of software that really help to make your marketing and sales efforts especially more robust, right? Because if you are not thinking about those things, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage, right? So be willing to think about those things, and do your research in terms of the types of features that you want, so that you're putting your best foot forward. Simple, right? Next thing, your general monthly budget and communication channels, right? So monthly budget in terms of what you're going to be paying out every month. Many people do not start their business thinking about this monthly budget, but reality is that if you are self-funding, especially until you get consistent clients, you need to be thinking about that, right? So if you're not thinking about it right now, especially since you have not started your business, you can start by at least documenting like what you found from your research in terms of what it will cost for the software that I was talking about earlier, the supporting softwares, and what it will cost to have the financial management tools and the CRM, and you get what I'm saying. So start off with at least that, and then you can move into budget out other things that will become incidentals that are associated with those key things, right? And then of course communication channels. Are you going to just try and go full throttle as you jump into your online business, or are you gonna just move incrementally? I do suggest that you move incrementally. So like for instance, with social media, I've been on Instagram only for the better part of a year, at this point. Well, it's not fully a year yet, but Instagram has been my main platform, and then I also have emails, I also have a website, and I mean website was a no-brainer since I built them as well, and then now I'm getting into YouTube. You get what I'm saying? And so YouTube will be my second communication channel that will definitely house a lot of my content, because I recognize that it's great to just have a nice collection of educational material that will definitely help persons who are really seeking the information that you actually provide, right? So literally moving forward, Instagram and YouTube are going to be my main communication channels, beyond like email marketing and my website and my podcast and my blogs and whatever, right? But those I don't consider social media platforms or whatever, but it does allow persons to interact with me in other ways. But as I said, YouTube and Instagram are the most direct ways to interact with people, and the main ways that I'm gonna be pushing my content out and all of that, right? Next thing, and the final thing, because I feel like I gave you 7 instead of 6, so big up yourself. Think about your work-life balance, right? A lot of us, when we're starting our online business especially, we think, okay, cool, it's going to be online, so we don't need to be going into work, so it's going to be easier. I actually believe that it's a little harder to manage your balance, your work-life balance, because you're using the same tools that you would use for your regular personal social interaction and all of that. It becomes kind of difficult for you to tear yourself away, right? So that's also part of the reason I believe fully in scheduling your weeks as much as possible, and deciding on timelines for your projects and all of that. Because let me tell you, it gets addictive sometimes, especially when you're not necessarily seeing the results that you want. So you want to do your very best to put the things in place that will help you get so I'm saying all of that to say, do your very best to think about the type of work-life balance that you want. Do you want to make sure that there are certain days that you don't touch work, and that you stay with your family? Do you want to make sure that there are days that you just have a day to yourself, you pamper yourself? Think about it, and ensure that you're putting things in place to really say, all right, cool, this is how I'm going to be building my business. Again, it's not going to be a perfect journey, but when you have a solid outline, to say, all right, cool, that's the vision for your lifestyle, and that's how you want your business to be built around your lifestyle. That's a better outlook in terms of how you are going to manage your business affairs versus your personal affairs, and how they can also coexist, to make sure that you're healthy mentally and keeping up in terms of your energy levels. All right. So with that said, I hope that you benefited from just hearing about the things that you need to keep in mind, when deciding to build an online business, right? Again, a lot of thought does need to go into building an online business. The idea of building an online business doesn't make it easier necessarily. You still need to do a lot to build this online business. However, your online business gives you a whole lot more flexibility that is definitely worth it, especially in the long run. All right. So with that said, guys, thank you for watching, and make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and keep looking out for more videos that will definitely help you to build a business that you are definitely desirous of, and will help you to build a legacy that you want for yourself and your loved ones. Until next time.
The Altitude Lounge.